It was another late night. Not another single person was in the building. He sat there all alone, wishing he was with his friends, but instead was stuck at work. I guess it's just because I like to torture myself, he said. But then he heard something. It was a loud crash. He jumped out of his chair and ran out of his cubicle to see where the noise came from. He ran down towards the edge of the hall, past the water cooler, and there he saw it. He didn't know what it was, but it made him run all the way to the other end of the building, down the stairs, not even bothering the elevator. And then he goes straight to that time clock, and he punches it out, and leaves the building, never daring to return until tomorrow. Hey everybody, it's the Night Shift Bandits once again. Here we go.
Cindy. Damn it, push the talk. Hey guys, how's it going?
Wow. That I'm stunned by that intro, Bri. That was good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Brian,
good.
like I said, bro, Brian, like I said before, you never have to worry about having a bad story, dog. You do good, man. You do good. That was good. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I was
Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it. I definitely got the voice down good, but.
I mean,
thank you, guys.
To be honest,
Yeah,
like,
the only thing I was missing is like some eerie music behind it. You know what I mean? But other than that, it was good, dog. That was cool.
Maybe I'll save it. Zach, save that and send it to me. Maybe I'll send it to the No Sleep podcast. Maybe they'll let me narrate for them.
I mean, I was just gonna say that anyway, and I was gonna say also that, yeah, there's a reason why we just have you start the podcast off. Like, that's compliments enough. Like, that you do a great job with these.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, as much as I appreciate you guys, I think it's time to get this ball rolling.
Indeed.
Yeah.
We do love balls rolling, I guess. But hey, it's me, your boy Zach.
Makes one of us.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of my balls rolling everywhere.
I didn't say your personal balls. I said balls rolling.
Well, Thomas says his personal ones not a good thing if they roll.
I believe that refers to ATT.
Something like that, but you know.
Acute testicular torsion.
Yep.
So I guess we're doing intros now.
I already introduced myself.
Your balls pull the 180.
Brian, what's your name?
What's up, everybody? Autistically awkward, ace degenerate back again. It's Brian the cool guy.
You got your boy OPC in the building. What's up, everybody?
And as I introduce myself, because Joe Carnes is not here today, it's Sarcasm Joe. How you guys do today? How you do? Welcome.
Hello.
What the fuck is this?
I don't know.
I've been dealing with this dude all day, fellas. That's all I'm gonna say.
Like I said, I will introduce myself. My name is Sarcastic Joe. Joe Carnes and Jokey is not here today. I stand on a higher pedestal than everyone else within the Joe. Zachary, Thomas, Bri the cool guy, and Theodore. Nice to meet you guys. Joe told me a lot about you. Like I said. Introduce myself.
All right. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay. Nice to meet you. But with that being said, I guess I'll just go into the housekeeping here. Again, we're the Night Shift Bandits, and hey, if you just like us just massaging your brain with our tomfoolery, hit us up on all social media platforms. Links in the description. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, even TikTok. If you want to donate to us, we have a Patreon where you can donate monthly. Of course, GoFundMe, where you can donate in one lump sum. That also helps fund our other podcasts, perspectives, discussions where we talk about love, life, and or relationships. And whether or not denying someone sex is sexual abuse.
Is this sexual abuse? For real?
It is very abusive.
Hey, we'll have that discussion over there on that podcast. This podcast, we're very wholesome and we talk about children content. Damn it!
Horrible people. Folks, if you don't want your kids to end up like us, beat the shit out of them.
No, don't do that.
I don't even want to do that even.
Anywho, today, guys.
I know you did not.
Oh God, hold on. One second, please. 1 second. Oh God. Fucking push the talk is fucking me up right now.
Okay, because I was about to call you Jimmy. Or Timmy. It was Timmy. That's what it was.
I'd much rather be Butters.
Oh, Butters is so awesome.
So
go
fucking
ahead.
cool. But yeah, so today, guys, we're talking about, hey, some scary stories. We're going to discuss them because, hey, we entered the spooky season.
It's the season.
I'm sure some of you out there have your pumpkin spice lattes or other flavored beverages.
Why would you not have pumpkin spice?
I'm not a fan of pumpkin.
It don't even taste like pumpkin.
I know.
What the hell? Anyway.
I just don't like the taste of it just doesn't taste good.
Look, pumpkin spice is great. It's like pineapple on pizza.
Then why weren't the Powerpuff Girls made out of it?
What? Because he forgot about it. And plus, pumpkin spice back then.
Exactly.
And plus, pumpkin spice back then was not a thing.
So, if he he would have known about it. I'm pretty sure Professor Newtonium would have known about it.
I'm sorry, ask him to make, I don't know, a latte. He probably wouldn't know how to do it because he's a professor, not a barista.
Bro, that puts a lot of hate on a lot of smart people, saying that they don't know how to do things that somebody at Starbucks can do.
Can they make a latte?
That's intelligent. This is.
Oh, I'll say that to Reggie's face. Can you make a latte, Reggie?
Oh, he probably would. He probably doesn't know how to make a latte. I don't know. But he might know how to make a latte.
He probably has the recipe.
He probably does. And he'll do
it
by hand.
But no, we're talking about spooky, scary skeleton stories. So we're going to discuss them, just share our favorites or just ones that we found.
Spooky balls.
Jacko has a spooky ball.
But yeah.
But who wants to start? That isn't Theo.
Because he's in the car and we need him to be safe.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Of course. I mean, I guess I'll go since everyone's silent.
Right.
So, all right. So, I talked about this story before, but I didn't talk about it on mic. Plus, we can make a discussion about it, right? So, this story actually comes from a recent movie called Freaky, right? So, this of course movie takes place in a town, basic town, nothing special about it. Pretty cool. Kids go to high school, la-di-da. Then suddenly some murders happen. Come to find out, Vince Vaughn got pissed off one day and was like, you know what, I'm gonna murder some people. So that's what he did. He went out and murdered people. So, yeah, Vince Vaughn.
I can't picture him as a murderer.
Neither can I.
Low key, Vince Vaughn, if he gained some weight and had a 5 o'clock shadow and just looked mean all the time, he looks scary. Like he's already a big guy, right?
Yeah, that's true.
True.
And
true.
you really see how big he is in the movie, like compared to everyone else.
Okay.
But Vince Vaughn was like, I'm angry now. Or at least his evil clone's angry. And he kills everyone. Not everyone in town, but kill a few people, right? So,
Okay.
fast forward to this girl in high school. And, she has her friends or whatnot, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, yeah, we're high schoolers. We want to do our thing. And, one day they're hanging out. And I'm butchering the movie, but hey, go watch the movie. Because I'm going to butcher the fuck out of it. Because I want you guys to watch it. So one day they're hanging out at night, blah, blah, blah. And what happens is that the killer sees her as the next target. She's like, okay, I'm going to kill this young blonde girl. So what happens, right, is that the killer finds this knife. The knife is cursed. Thing is that he didn't know what the knife does, but he's a killer. He's like, fuck it. This is like a knife, pretty stylish knife. Go ahead and use it to kill this little girl. So he goes ahead, reveals himself, chases down the friend, goes after the blonde girl, right? He stabs her, actually, fortunately, right in the middle of the football field. But what happens is that with this knife, this mysterious knife, it transfers their soul. So the blonde girl's soul goes into Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn's soul goes into the little girl, right? So they're both knocked out, KO'd or whatever, and they go to like their respective areas. The blonde girl, who's now trapped inside Vince Vaughn's body, he has a home, but it's in an abandoned building, and he sleeps on a mattress on the floor, right? Vince Vaughn wakes up in Vince Vaughn, who's now in the blonde girl's body, wakes up in her room. And at this point, I'll also refer to the blonde girl as the killer in the blonde girl's body as the killer, and then of course, blonde girl in the killer's body as the blonde girl, because he'll get too confused. But know that they switch bodies from this point going forward. Okay?
Right.
So it creates an interesting dynamic because since the killer is in a little girl's body, he used to be in the big brute, right? And he still has that urge to kill. He still wants to be a mean ass person. So whenever he tries to kill people, it's difficult for him because you're still trying to do things as if you're in a grown ass man's body and you're in the body of a little girl. So you can't punch down doors. You can't grapple people by the neck. You have to be resourceful. So to go ahead and hang out with the killer for a bit, he goes to school, right? And he's just looking mean and just being grumpy and all this other stuff. Like the woman literally walks around with a scowl on her face. And people are like, what the hell's wrong with you? And grunts and just push people away. So what happens, right? She's sitting in the killer's sitting in chemistry class, listening to the teacher, blah blah blah. And the teacher and throughout like most of the year, the teacher was actually messing with the girl. And the girl just endured it, but the killer didn't like that. So he's like, you know what? In this body, you're gonna be my first victim. So after class, everyone's gone, right? The girl just sits there and stares at the teacher, looks at him menacingly, like that guy on SpongeBob, the spatula. And he's sitting there. It's like, yo, is there something you want? What's going on, right? You can't complete your homework if you don't leave. And she goes up to the desk, just gets in his face, and he's all like, look, I'm not into this. I don't want a relationship with my students. Just go home. Then suddenly, he attacks him. Or at least the killer attacks the teacher. And again, not really learning that he's in a little girl's body, try to grapple him, punch him. And again, little girl fighting a grown man, you're not going to win this. He gets beat up, actually. Badly. So the teacher knocks the girl down. It's like, look, I'm just going to have to call the police on your ass because you're over here trying to kill me, obviously. But what happens is the fact that the killer finds something sharp to stab the teacher, stabs him in the back, takes his body, and turns on a saw, because this is like it's like in the I want to say, was it like a wood shop class? I think it was. It was either wood shop or chemistry. But either way, there's a saw.
No, it was a wood shop class.
It was a wood
Yeah,
shop.
it was a wood shop.
The saw involved the shop class.
Yeah. It was in the wood shop class, and he turned the saw on, took the body, and cut the teacher in half. And there's just blood everywhere and shit. It's just ridiculous, right? So now we're gonna go ahead and flip to the little girl in the killer's body, right? It's funny because she wakes up and she's like, "Oh my god, what the fuck's going on? I'm in a grown man's body. I have a penis now. I'm sleeping on the ground. You know, this is ridiculous. I'm smelly. I'm hairy." And she even runs to this other homeless guy that knows him, but she just pushes him out the way. And it's implied that this guy's crazy. So she goes ahead and gets to the school, right? Keep in mind, this is happening while teachers getting cut up. She finds her friends, right? Because they survived the killer. Finds her friends, and her friends think that, oh, you're that killer. You're a grown-ass man. You're hairy, and you're chasing after us. And they run away from her, not knowing that that's actually their friend's soul inside of a killer's body. So she's trying to get them to say it. She's trying to convince them that, hey, it's me, but again, you look scary as hell. But they're running away from them until they finally get to the kitchen and they throw all kinds of things at her. And eventually she's like, okay, look, it's me. I'm just in a body somehow. You got to figure this out. And, you know, they did the whole thing of, okay, tell me something that only you would know in order to reveal who you are.
Right.
So they do that, and they're friends with a grown-ass man. Or seemingly a grown-ass man.
That is hilarious.
So you have...
funny. Right.
I think I remember this movie now.
Yeah, it's
I really
very
need to watch it.
It's on HBO Max. Check it out. But again, I'm butchering it, and I'm missing some details and everything, but for the sake of time, you know, and for the sake of not spoiling anything, have a look. But thing is, so you have a grown-ass man, tall as fuck, hairy as hell, probably smelly, hanging out with these high school kids. And they're like on their Scooby-Doo shit, trying to go ahead and get old girl's old body back and try to go ahead and transfer the souls back, right? So, you know, eventually the day's over. They make their plan on like setting up traps and stuff. Pretty much like the like Mystery Inc. Set up some traps, get this guy, transfers the body. Next day, the killer comes in looking stylish as fuck. Cause you know what they have to do. Whenever you switch bodies and you're like a bad person, you gotta have on the leather jacket, the jeans, you know, you gotta look a little bit gothic, put on the eyeliner. She didn't have on eyeliner, but it was like, you could tell she dressed like she had an attitude, and she was rocking it. And even
I
like,
would have been very surprised if she had on eyeliner.
yeah, she didn't have on eyeliner because you know you're a blonde, it won't flow, right?
No.
More like,
Guy.
how the hell does a guy know how to do eyeliner?
Exactly.
How the fuck does a guy know how to do eyeliner?
I mean,
Like that particular guy who clearly does not consider his appearance.
I don't know. Hey, look. It's a movie. I don't question anything. If he came out with eyeliner, I'd be like, you know what? You rock it. But he did have style. Like, in the promotional art, in the promotional poster, if you see what she has on, that's what she changed into. So somehow, some way, he had style. So eyeliner would not be out of the question, to be honest. So, but funny part is that the girl was just jealous of him because, like, she was like, damn, he dresses better than I do in my own body. So just imagine that. Someone has your own body, dresses better than you do, probably is going to live your life better than you would. That's horrible.
That's very horrible.
Very horrible. So, all in all, and again, I'm not going to go through the whole fucking movie, but all in all, eventually, you know, they go ahead and set the plan, right? They go ahead and confront the killer, And when they go ahead and execute their plan, they go ahead, chase the killer down, get him cornered, and they hold him down. They found the knife, use the knife for them to switch bodies, and killer is back to his body. Vince Vaughn is Vince Vaughn again. Blonde girl is Blonde girl again, and they both start to fight the killer, and he goes away for a moment. I think he either escapes or gets caught by the cops and then escapes from there. But all in all, Blonde girl goes home, says, "Woo, that was one hell of an adventure. I'm glad it's over now." Then she hears a sound, right? Sound from downstairs. She's like, okay, what the fuck's going on? Goes down there. It's Vince Vaughn again. And he has her as Mr. Hostage. She's like, oh, fuck. Okay, what the hell's going on? And Vince Vaughn is like, look, you beat my ass, right? How did you not expect me getting revenge? I escaped. I'm going to get my revenge. I'm going to kill you, your mom, and your friend. Because can't nobody beat me. I'm a big, brooding guy. I'll kill all of you. So, also, thankfully, her sister comes in. Thankfully, her sister's a cop. So, she doesn't ranger any forests, but she will shoot people in this small town. She's a hard ass, actually. So, once the sister helps the mom out, get her out of the clutches of the killer, out of Vince Vaughn's clutches, now it's a 3 versus 1 fight. And to be honest with you, this fight shows how really strong the guy is, because all the hits that they're doing to him are barely phasing him. So they literally have to delay hyper combo this man into submission. So they all go ahead and beat this guy, hit all his weak points, hit him in the balls, hit him in the knees, punch him in the face, get him on his knees or whatnot. And then finally, in one last act of revenge, badass scene in the movie, the blonde girl stabs Vince Vaughn in the chest, says fuck you, and he died. So, covered in blood, she's like, oh, what the fuck? But at the end of the day, police come and do their investigation. They all have one big hug. And yeah, they survived not only the darkest part of the Freaky Friday scenario, but also survived, I guess, the sequel too, where he comes back.
There's a sequel to this?
No, it's not a sequel to it.
Oh,
like,
okay.
They literally could have like stretched this out and made it a sequel, because he escaped. It went like before the end of the second act, or in the middle of the third act.
Right, that part could have been the sequel. I get you.
Right. So like the next part that happened after that could have been a sequel if they wanted to do that, which I wouldn't have minded. But they were probably like, we don't have much to say, so let's just go ahead and finish. So, all in all, they locked back up the mysterious knife. Again, don't know where it came from, don't know what it does. Or we know what it does, but don't know where it came from. But, you know, they just put it in a museum somewhere and never to be seen or heard from again until they want to make an actual sequel in the future. Well, all in all...
Oh, and well, what I thought you were gonna say, Zach. I'm sorry to interrupt, by the way. What I thought you were gonna say was, she stabbed him when you said that he killed her, or she killed him. I mean, I thought you were gonna say that she stabbed him with that very same knife, and then they switched bodies again, but nobody knew. That's what I thought you were gonna say. That would have been that is how they would have made part 2. But anyway, go ahead. My bad, dog. But yeah, go ahead.
Right, like no, she learned her lesson. She knows not to stab him with the magic knife.
Right.
Otherwise, the movie would have been 2 more hours. But again,
right, like right.
I mean, they would have just made a saga out of it.
The Freaky Saga.
I mean, maybe
the Freaky Saga. It's like the Twilight Saga, except not really. But all in all, she lived happily ever after with her friends. And it's implied that killing the killer may have unlocked some kind of darkness within her. But, yeah, we'll touch bases on that later. But,
okay.
The reason why I chose this story is because, again, of the most recent horror movies I've watched, it was a good story. It had some funny parts in it, but it was funny as on the same level as other horror movies are funny, but they know what they were. But the story was still good, very fleshed out, very unique in its sense, giving like a dark side to the whole Freaky Friday scenario. If you don't know Freaky Friday, you know, daughter and mom switch bodies, have to do that for what? I think it's for like a day or something like that.
Yeah, it's that whole Friday. They're
Yeah.
basically spending a day in each other's shoes, and it's just like work, you know, basic life stuff. Nothing that big. And most people forget about that weird stuff they did over the weekend.
Yeah. So it's just a dark side of that scenario, and it's kind of cool because they flipped that whole scenario on its head and said, okay, here's a darker version of this, and here's the story that we want to tell with it. Also, I just had like so many stories I could have told, and it's like I'll just go for the simpler one, and plus it gives everyone something to watch in this season, right? So, all in all, yeah, I mean that's me. So
I mean, yeah, that sounds like a really good story or movie to watch. So
yeah,
I'm kind of down for it.
I was curious about it.
yeah, and it's a
And
fun ass.
I keep remembering that one movie that did something similar with Rob Schneider.
Which movie was that?
The one where he like switches bodies with this preppy girl.
That
And-
sounds familiar.
I forget the name, but it's like they find these, like they both wind up wearing this pair of earrings that swaps their souls.
Mm. Okay, I can remember it. Oh, is it called The Hot Chick?
I think that might be it, actually.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I see a poster of Vince Vaughn holding cucumber slices above his nipples.
What the what?
Yeah, that sounds like the hot chick.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat, but the Hot Chick poster just shows Vince Vaughn holding cucumber slices above his nipple with the face mask.
Oh, alrighty then.
Yeah, because I definitely wanted to see that today.
Isn't that Rob Schneider?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's Rob Schneider.
You
Not
kept
Vince
saying Vince
Vaughn.
Vaughn. I was like, Vince Vaughn's not in that movie.
Wait, was I saying Vince Vaughn? I thought I was saying Rob Schneider.
You said Vince Vaughn twice.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I was.
Yeah, you did.
Oh shit! Never. Well, yeah, Rob Schneider. Which again, I don't need to see.
I mean, I don't want to see either one. So I'm good.
Wait, what's that tapping?
What's that noise? What's that noise? What's that noise?
Ryan.
Not me. Not me. Or
No, it's
maybe it
coming
is
from-
me.
I was gonna say it was coming from your mic.
It was coming from your mic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your icon was showing when that noise was taking place. But it's all good now. It stopped. We're good.
Yeah, it's all good now.
Oh man, sorry.
I heard. Yeah, 'cause I hear that in my car in surround sound.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Sorry about that, guys.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Cool. All right. Who's next?
Yeah, who's next?
I guess I'll go next since we were talking about a movie. I wanted to bring up actually two different stories, but kind of really wanted to just talk about how there's the differences between the original and the remakes.
Mhm.
So the first movie I wanted to talk about was The Ring.
Classic.
Oh yeah, great movie. Everyone saw it, over here. I don't remember what her name was, but she was a awesome actress. Did a great job. The entire story was basically this entity in some videotape, You watch the videotape. They go and kill you in 7 days.
Yep.
But in this movie, she actually gets out of that whole curse. And I'm not going to tell you how it happens. Just go watch the movie. But she gets out of that whole curse at the end. In the English version, it's basically the exact same movie. So that was done like very, very well. I'm using that as an example for the other story, which was The Grudge, which the American version was trash.
Okay.
And that has nothing to do with. Hold on. Wait, so why did we stop, Zach?
Oh, I thought you said hold on.
Oh, that's because I thought you had said something.
Oh no.
Yeah. We were all just kind of waiting on you at that point.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What I heard was, "Hey guys," and I was like, "Oh, hold on."
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Okay. So I lost where I was at.
You were talking about how crappy the American remake of The Grudge is.
Okay. So yeah, even though
The Grudge, yeah.
Yeah. So even though the American version of The Grudge had Sarah Michelle Gellar in it and a much higher budget than the Japanese version, it was just garbage. Like it didn't. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, like I remember just watching the trailer for it. Whoa. I hear something in my mic.
Yeah, that's
sounds
coming from.
Yeah.
Or can you turn the volume down some?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the sound is coming through the speakers. I mean, not the speakers, but through the mic. So just put yourself on mute for right now. So I know you can't really control. There you go. All right.
That works.
Yeah.
Okay, so what were we gonna say, Bri?
Yeah, I just remember watching the trailers for that, and like I'm thinking back on those trailers now. It's just like, okay, everything is over animated.
Yeah, and it didn't need to be.
Yeah, like
the first movie was subtle with the all the scares and everything. It showed you like, oh, this person was doing something normal, and just in the background, out of their eye line, you could see like all the stuff that was terrifying them, and you're just like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? And the American one, it was like, I know you see this thing and hear this stuff going on behind you. You can't be this dumb.
sounds about right.
So I just wanted to, point out that there is a difference between, quality in these scary movies and, also where they're from, because there's the Japanese ones, they took them very to heart and put effort into it. And over here, it was just like, oh, these are these quote unquote scary stories, but they don't know, the culture behind it.
Yeah, and you always like get that with American remake, to be honest.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, like another one that actually comes to mind, if I could just contribute this real quick, is Wreck.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They had an American remake called Quarantine. So, which pretty much like they tried to do it shot for shot, if I remember correctly, and it just didn't come out well. The American remake was pretty bland, and it was not as interesting. Wreck, of course, went on to have like 2 more sequels, and it just kept getting better and better. But go on, Thomas.
No, I mean that was pretty much it. I just wanted to talk about that for a little bit.
Oh yeah. So, I know. And wasn't that like when it comes to what's her name, Michelle?
Sarah Michelle Gellar?
Yeah, wasn't that like a role like right after Buffy ended?
Yes.
Yeah. So
It was like her one of her first big movie roles where she was starring.
yeah. So, and unfortunately, it failed.
It was a terrible failing on her part.
Yeah, a terrible.
Well, it actually wasn't even on her part because her acting wasn't bad. It was the direction, the writing, the mistranslations of things, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
Like the only one of those American remakes that I think didn't suck too hard was One Missed Call.
Yeah, I didn't see that one, and I heard Let the Right One In was pretty good too. I heard that was good.
I haven't actually heard of that one.
Yeah, so Let the Right One In. It focuses on vampires, and I haven't seen it as of yet. Only heard it from critics, and I'm pretty sure it focuses on that like that dumb rule where you have to invite a vampire into your home, otherwise they can't come in.
Oh my god, that is so
Wait, what?
stupid.
Oh, you
Wait,
haven't heard
what?
of that? Yeah, so
No, I was talking about that one weird horror thriller about all the friends who were getting strange calls on their cell
I'm
phones
mentioning
and
something
dying.
else. I'm talking about something else. I was just contributing.
Oh,
No, I
I'm
was talking
dumb.
about completely different. No, dude, don't downgrade yourself like that. You made a mistake. It's fine.
Yeah, people make mistakes.
Right. But no, I was just talking about a movie called Let the Right One. And like how it focuses on that one rule that no one wants to talk about because they'll limit the writing.
I mean, that's really dumb to have them not be able to get into your house just because you didn't invite them in.
Well, I mean,
That's Stoker's fault.
I mean, to be honest with you though, it could create some creative writing because think about it. Now you have a smart vampire.
Oh no, yeah.
Come in.
I completely understand that. It's actually one of those in Vampire the Masquerade. I know I keep bringing it up, but that was a flaw for your character that you could get, where you can't walk into someone else's house as long as they were a living person.
Right.
And
So-
like you said, you had to be creative in how to get around it.
Yeah, and you gotta be creative. And hey, they can't stay in their house forever. They have to come outside sometime.
Oh, it's not even just that. There's so many other things that you could do or have other people do.
Like turn their power off.
That too. That's one thing. You could just get them to answer the door and then hypnotize them to come outside.
Or hypnotize them to say, come in.
You can even trick them to say, yeah, you can come in.
Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely a thing, and you see it more with like horror movies and thrillers or whatnot in regards to American makes. Like, and they never turn out well at all. I don't know if it's because they get a hack writer. I don't know if they're not given enough time. I don't know if it's just they get a director that they don't care about. They don't care about the original.
It's probably like all of those things at the same time.
Well, it's probably like one of those things that just weighs really heavy on the movie.
That could be it too.
Because,
Yeah.
well, I heard that they were trying, or were considering doing a
Train to Busan, but here in America.
Yeah,
That would be terrible.
Yeah,
I haven't heard anything of it since I first heard of it, and that was like
2-3 years ago.
it'll probably be in development hell for a while.
Good. That's where it should stay.
Kind of, I mean,
Seriously.
If it
J-
stays
Japan
there,
and Korea,
on.
man.
Yeah.
When it comes to storytelling, Jesus Christ. Pardon my French.
Mic check, mic check.
yep, you're all good.
Cool.
But yeah, like remakes and shit. Like it's just always have my expectations low with American. I always sigh when they try to do another one. I'm like, just bring the movie over. And that, right now we are living in a day and age where we're like foreign films or foreign series are starting to become more mainstream. Hell, Squid Game. Everyone's talking about that right now.
Yeah, I'm only on episode 3 or 4 right now, though.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to talk details, but
Okay.
I'm just mentioning it to say that everyone's watching this Korean show right now. Parasite is another one. Everyone saw that movie and it even got awards. And I'm pretty sure that was a Korean film as well, right? Parasite.
Also,
Yeah, that was a pretty big one.
Yeah, like that one was big because it was like a foreign film swept everyone up. Like it won all kinds of awards.
There was some other foreign films that were pretty huge too, and I can't remember what they were. Oh, Old Boy. That was another one.
Oh,
that was an older Korean film that was getting props even back in the day.
Yeah.
And
There's another one. I can't think of the name of it, but it involved like zombies, but it was in ancient Japan or ancient China or something like that. I believe that's on Netflix as well, but I forgot what the name of it was.
You're talking about the Kingdom.
The Kingdom. There you go. The Kingdom. Yeah.
But yeah, like it's very seldomly do they come out. To go back to Old Boy real quick, I can't believe they got Spike Lee to direct that movie.
Bro, that's what made me not want to watch it over here.
That made me want to watch it because I'm like, let's see how bad this is. And to be fair, the movie wasn't that bad. I'm pretty sure. I think I've liked maybe 1 or 2 of Spike Lee's movies out of all of the ones that I've seen. Oh yeah, then you probably wouldn't like Old Boy then.
Yeah.
Especially if you like the original. Yeah, nah. I don't suspect you could like it at all. Truthfully.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I really had going for me.
Okay. So, Brian, you want to go next?
Sure. So I guess lately I've been following this one YouTuber by the name of Mr. Ballin. I've enjoyed the channel so far. It's just a guy who started telling scary stories on YouTube. Just not even horror stories per se, but just real life occurrences like hauntings and stuff. And even just real life occurrences that are just really either weird, mysterious, or just downright terrifying. And there are 2 particular cases that he discussed that stood out to me. The first one being, I don't remember the location specifically, but I do believe it was an old theater somewhere here in the United States. I think it was somewhere in California. Or maybe it was in Arizona, I forget. But the story goes, there are these 2 cops, but they did security for the theater because I guess it was like a landmark or something. And this old guy is training on this new guy. He just comes on, and he's walking him through the different floors in the theater. There's like this subfloor in this old tight, creepy hallway that leads up to one door, and it opens up, and there's just this one piano standing in the middle of this big room, this big, dark, creepy room. And not to drag everything on too far, but all throughout his training and aiming, all this creepy stuff is happening. Like, doors are being opened, the elevator's moving on its own, and in the midst of all this crazy stuff happening, they're trying to figure out what the hell's going on here. What is all this? It's like, this got to be the work of somebody, but we're not picking up anybody on the monitors or anything. And eventually the guy who was training the new guy quits. Right? Because he's like, fuck this shit, I'm out. And now he's kind of just on his own in this old ass amphitheater with a bunch of creepy stuff going on. So you can imagine that's fun, right?
My bad. I
You
forgot.
all there?
I'm sorry. I was responding to you and I forgot I was on mute.
I forgot I had push to talk on.
Yeah. And I was wondering, like, why isn't Brian listening to me? Yeah, no, I get what you say. I get what you're saying. Like, I definitely know what you.
Yeah, and going forward, this guy, he's like full on cop mode, I guess. He's just trying to figure out what this is all about. And eventually, he starts telling one of his buddies about it, and his buddy's curious. And so they both decide, so he decides to go into the theater with him, and eventually they catch some scary dark figure on the security cameras. And it just floats up through the ceiling on the monitor. It just floats.
Wait, it just floats?
Up into the ceiling.
Okay.
And then, in the midst of all this, the same stuff's going on. The elevator's moving on its own. There's noises. There's doors flinging open. There's... the piano is playing itself.
Okay, sounds like a place to be in.
Yeah.
And then, eventually, the two of them eventually get into, like, the main auditorium, and they look up because they're chasing all this weird stuff around, right? Thinking this has got to be a person, right? And lo and behold, they see up there a large hooded man with a charred up face.
Ooh,
And then he just walks out.
okay.
And he's like, after all this shit, his friend's like, you need to find a new job, bud. And he's like, you're right, bud. Fuck this shit. I'm out. And eventually, later on, they learn that a fire occurred in that amphitheater. And so I'm like, oh, okay, so that guy burned to death in that theater. Like, oh god, no.
Not to interrupt you, bro, but like whenever I see someone with a burned face, I always immediately think like, what's going on? Are you a killer or are you a ghost? What's happening?
I mean, I don't think they actually saw. That's just like, I guess those are like actual testimonies, but then again, I've been to all, I've had my fair share of going to supernatural spots, and I haven't seen shit. So there's that.
Yeah, it's very seldom, but that's a whole different conversation.
Uh-huh. So the next one I'm going to talk about, if I have the time, is something a little bit
Yeah, go for
more
it.
slasher thriller than a horror story.
Hey, I mean, it's horror.
Yeah.
We
So
just real quick, and this is just a general thing for the audience as well. It just seems like the genre of horror is just a term at this point. Because
it's very ambiguous these days.
say that again, guys. Sorry, because you guys were talking at the same time.
Okay, I was just saying you cut out there for a sec, so I didn't hear everything you said.
No, I was just saying that like the term horror is just an umbrella term at this point. Because let's say Jason, for example, right? Michael Myers. They're not scary per se, but they cause a lot of bloodshed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's slashers, killers or whatever. That's still under that horror umbrella. I just want to say that real quick. But go ahead, Ryan.
All right. Yeah, you're right, though. It is more of an umbrella term these days because there's so much stuff that scares people, I guess. A lot of wimps out there.
A lot of women.
Anyway, I'm kidding, folks.
Yeah.
Sort of. Anyway, the second one relates to a certain string of incidents out in Vancouver, British Columbia. And it stems from a pig farm. So yeah, you know this is going to be good, right? And this case was called the Piggy Palace Murders.
Can I just ask a question real quick? Who chooses?
Yes.
Who choose the names
Ask away.
for these killers, these scenarios?
It's usually like the police officers who are doing the investigations. Or
Right.
the media.
It was the media on this one. I'm going to give it to the media
Okay.
because there is a reason for the name. Like, so I don't even remember the names, and even if I did, I'm not going to mention all the names, but basically these brothers inherited a pig farm from their father, and you know, they were just doing stuff on a farm, and then I forget how it started. I think they came into money somehow. I think a relative. They got an inheritance from a relative, and they started a charity called Piggy Palace. You know, they threw charities for people on and stuff. They threw parties and events, and one of the brothers also happened to frequent, the east side of Vancouver, which is, I guess, the scary part of Vancouver. You know, like Vancouver's, Vancouver's west side.
Yeah, I was gonna say I heard that they have some ghettos too, just as bad as.
Oh yeah, there's freaking
Everywhere has ghetto.
any major city in the world's gonna have scary shit.
No, I mean like just as bad as ours, and yeah, get used to it because
Canada,
Chicago.
oh yeah, Canada has plenty of spots you should never go to, but this guy went to them often because, you know, there's hookers out there, and you know, eventually people started to notice that, hey, where's such and such? I don't know. I haven't seen her in a while. And eventually, and again, the details are fuzzy because I haven't watched the video in some time. But and one thing led to another, and I think one person ordered some people missing, and the police started connecting the dots. And my hat's off to the Canadian police, because they handle their investigations with a lot more subtlety than we do here.
Not to interrupt, I was gonna say finesse.
Finesse indeed. Like their omission is their best friend. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, by the way, flashes the badge. Would you mind explaining me again how that worked? Or it's more like, oh, is that so? So, put your hands up. But I don't want to yell.
No, yell in their ears. Make them hear it.
That would be us.
Oh. I mean,
I was gonna say I don't want to yell.
Yeah, don't yell, because I'm in the car, so I don't. Yeah, that's gonna hurt me real bad.
oh yeah, my
Yes,
bad.
yes, it will.
Never mind.
But and eventually they found blood out on the facilities on his pig farm, and so apparently one of the younger brother was bringing in prostitutes, both from, on the streets and even just random girls at the events they hosted from the charity. And he was raping and killing them and dismembering them, and then he would take the bodies and pack them up like they would with the pigs, because he has all the facilities and the training to properly do that, because he works at a fucking pig farm. And he sends their remains in with the other pigs, and it all gets processed into a gelatin-like substance that's used in a lot of foodstuffs. Like a lot of those candies people like to eat. That's a product in it.
Yeah, it definitely is. Oof.
And eventually, they had to get a confession by having a cop pose as an inmate and pose as his cellmate. Like, this guy threw on some prison scrubs and sat in a shitty ass jail cell with this guy, and he had to sit there and play criminal with an actual very sick, very messed up guy, and just get this confession from him. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
That sounds like
I know I get flack for saying that word so much, but my God.
I mean, you don't get flack from us.
I know.
You're fine. You're with us. But I was gonna say, this seems like an interesting scenario. Like, I know
I'll link the videos to you guys. Like, I would definitely recommend to anyone else, check out Mr. Ballin's channel on YouTube. John, big fan of what you're doing. Love what you do. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, I know I was joking about it earlier, but like, I'm actually a big fan of investigations and stories of investigations that have interesting titles to them. Like, because what was the name of this one again? Like the actual
The
investigation.
Piggy Palace Murders, which is named after the charity they started because they ran a pig farm,
Mhm.
and so yeah, they just went with Piggy Palace.
Yeah, see, something like that. Like if that was like the name of a video or like the name of an article or something, I would click on it immediately.
Exactly.
Like it's and real quick, like just a 5 minute, not even a 5 minute conversation, a 3 minute conversation. Like again, I know I joked about it earlier, but it's just so interesting how the media, the cops, or whoever just find the right title. This investigation.
I think it just really is whatever they feel like the guy is doing or the girl is doing. The criminal, I should say, is doing.
Yeah, I mean that's true, but you can easily call it let's say the Chicago murders or
You
the
know how
Wisconsin
many
murders.
murders would happen in that city or state.
Exactly. So it's
So,
like it's kind of like
yeah.
finding a name for an MMO or a PlayStation or something. You can't call this Chicago murder number 301.
I mean, they could.
They could, but they choose not to because that would be terrible.
It would be accurate and very easy to find in a file.
Right. In a file, which most people are not, especially not me.
True.
I mean, I'm trying to like rebuttal your. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying Brian was tapping again.
Oh, sorry about that.
You're good. You're good. But no, I wasn't trying to rebuttal you or anything. I'm just saying, like, how many people do you know actually go into the files of investigations and just look for a file number 506?
I'm gonna go with nobody.
That thing is
Probably nobody.
Exactly. That thing is collecting dust.
Oh, it definitely is.
But
One's typical.